You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Wow, what an honor to be here today speaking in front of every one of you. My name is Nathan Beck, painting contractor of the group. Some of you may not know, I am Sarah Beck's oldest son. I'm the oldest of four. I have a younger sister, she's 14 months younger than me, and I have two half-brothers. And we are a hard-working family. That's all we do. We work very, very hard. 24/7, 7 days a week. Out in the desert doing real estate, out in LA. We are just a hard-working family, and that's the way that I've grown up to be. I've been a hard worker under that ethic my whole life. I knew that I've always wanted to be in this business. Growing up under my grandfather, he would babysit me and take me around to all of our apartment buildings, and I just idolized, what he was showing me, all the apartment buildings we had. From an early age, I knew that I wanted to be a painter, and ideally, I'd like to be a developer, landowner, and also paint and be a contractor, do a little bit of every field. Being in the painting business, I have a very acute eye of detail. It's taught me to really look at the details, and that is something that is really important, I think, in any business, is looking at the details and not overlooking it. Today, I have a project I'd like to show you, but unfortunately it's not finished, so we're going to have to bear with iPhone pictures. Hopefully it'll be okay. What a wonderful project this has been, and believe it or not, guess how we got this house? We got this house through Brigitte Rosenberg of the Tip. We were working on her house, doing an amazing finish, doing Venetian plaster all over her house. If you guys have an opportunity to stop by her house, please do. What an incredible home she has made for herself. While we were doing her house, her interior designer brought us over to his job. Small job, 22,000 square feet. And from there, now I'm looking at the neighbor's house. It's a 15,000 square foot house. We're going to be working on that house as well. And in the rumor, we're waiting on permits. We're looking at working on the biggest house in Beverly Hills. It's a 61,000 square foot house in Beverly Hills. It's going to be the biggest house in Beverly Hills, but we're waiting on permits. This might take 2 years to come down the road. So I'm going to show you some pictures of the house, of where we are right now, but when the house is done, I'll provide, pamphlets for everybody to see the final picture. And let me know if I'm going too fast. I got a lot of pictures to go over. So. Okay, here we go. So this is the house. This is the exterior, in the construction phase. That's the original exterior of the home on the top left corner. That's the original exterior. And then to the right is where we are right now with putting in the landscaping and putting in the driveway. So here's the entry, with the monolithic columns. Here's the entry of the house. Big dome, goes right through to the back. Okay, so now here's where we are now. We did the dome on the ceiling with a beautiful metallic finish. It's beautiful, it's silver finish with the glaze over the top. Really beautiful. The handrails are just ornate. This house is really just tops. Unbelievable. What an opportunity. There's Sarah, ladies and gentlemen, working hard. Yes, she does work on job site. She's actually probably better than any of us. She's an incredible hard worker. Here's the entry when we're up here doing our work. There's our coworker, our employee Steve, who's been with us for about 14 years. What a great guy. There's the entry, the columns. Again, I apologize for half-finished work. This is where we are right now. Moldings. These incredible moldings as we're going. This is to give you an idea of the detail in the moldings. These moldings are pretty much everywhere in the house, and it's really just ornate and incredible. The crown, I'm pretty sure Sarah has already shown you guys, that crown is $100 a foot.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. All of the moldings, thank you for reminding me, all of the moldings, we're doing a glaze, an antique finish, so it has that two-tone sort of appearance. Again, just kind of giving you an idea of all of the detail. So what we see here is a bunch of the doors that Sarah created, this sort of idea. You put the 2x4s on the wall, and you stack up the doors, that way we can paint this But you know, what's funny about this picture is actually we had to utilize technology from Monsters, Inc. from Pixar. To get through the whole house, we had to utilize their technology to open a door and jump to another part of the house. Here's some doors that, again, you know, if you look at these doors here, they were white primed as we started, and we faux them to make them look like wood. So I think that turned out pretty well. The walls are Venetian plaster that I did. You know, I added a lot of detail on the Venetian plaster, but there's different levels of Venetian plaster, smoother, not as ornate, but this style kind of added a lot of interest, made it look really beautiful. Venetian plaster, if you guys aren't aware, it's really smooth. It feels like glass. You can almost see yourself in it. So it's a really fun finish. More Venetian plaster. Venetian plaster going down the stairwell. Kitchen. Now this is right off the backyard. And if you look, here's an idea of what it was when we started. Backyard, a little bit of the backyard, fountains, koi ponds. Okay, so here, this is a really fun thing that we're doing, excuse me. So we're trying to create a tile, sort of a faux tile look. And we're taping off a bunch of squares, 2 by 2 inch squares, really small squares. So it just took a long time to tape everything off. Like, it's giving you an idea of how it's gonna look when it's done. Taping it off, wow, it was really painstaking to tape it all off. Here's the process of it going through. Step by step, you know, the primer, the white, the red, the greens. Now we're getting closer to the finish, adding some glazing in the corners to kind of have a shadowing effect. Okay, so here's
how long did it take to do that ceiling, the total process?
This ceiling right here, that took
2 months.
2 months, ladies and gentlemen. It took a long time. It took a crew of 4 guys just for this, nonstop. You know, your necks are tired, you know, not you're complaining, but it was very, you know, difficult to do. But, you know, and then you take off after, so you paint it the color you want the grout. And then you tape it all. Then you do the finish, all the finish. Then you take off the tape. And that's your grout line, the original color that you painted. So taking off the tape, cutting it in by hand with a little artist brush, it's very, very time consuming. But it turned out very well. So we have the bowling alley down here. You know, we're doing some paintings here and there, but a lot of this room is just fabric on the walls. This is the movie theater, just to give you an idea. The carpet's covered, but it's really beautiful red kind of carpet. Again, I'll show you pictures when it's done. 34-seat movie theater. Yeah. Basketball court, personally one of my favorite parts of the room. I love basketball. My favorite sport. This is the wine cellar, another tile faux room that we did, showing the tile, adding the process, the layers on top of each other, little by little, adding the layers. Now we're getting closer to the finish.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And this is a really fun finish where it has broken up almonds and marble dust in the finish, so it feels like stone. It's a really cool product. This is the master bed for this house. Can anybody take a guess of how much this bed costs?
$50,000.
Mark goal of everybody, it's about $60,000. Has a TV that'll pop up on the headboard, you know, and rotate around. It's incredible. Here's another finish of a house. Incredible design on the stairwell. This is actually foam, handcrafted foam on the walls that they sculpted and cut. It is just, the amount of detail in this is unbelievable, but very beautiful. Here's another example of something that we do. We do faux staining, like those doors that you guys saw. The door to the right was the weathered and old door, and the door to the left is what we're doing to it, just adding a glaze. Thank you. Adding a glaze over the top, just to sort of vitalize it. Here's another project we did. This was really fun. This was in the Highlands in the Palisades, if I recall. This was a bookshelf. Everything was oak wood, dark wood, and so I personally hand sprayed everything, you know, from every step of the way. I pretty much did this whole entire room. Very, very detailed. Very, very difficult room. It turned out really fun. It was a library where this L corner is matched in every corner. It's just a bunch of shelves. Here's an exterior, you know, just an example of the stuff that we do. We do exteriors, we do interiors. You know, any of your painting needs, we do it all. Here's our guys who are totally not afraid of heights. I am afraid of heights myself, but I've sort of learned to get over that fear being in this business. You know, I'm in the wrong business if I'm going to be afraid of heights. So here we are, three stories up on a ladder down in Venice. This project was. And that's it. Those are the pictures we have. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask.
So, not a question, it's a testimonial. So, the house that he's showing us, he invited a bunch of, all of us actually, to go to it about a month or 2 or 3 ago.
Absolutely.
And I went on a Tuesday. I actually took my daughter, she was in town, and we were looking at open houses. I know he's Sarah Beck's son, and we love Sarah Beck. He stands on his own, though. The work that Nate does, he's his own man. He really is. And he's a valued member. Don't think of him as Sarah Beck's son, like we brought him in. He's his own guy, and he's working his butt off, just like all of us, and he's doing amazing work.
Okay, thank you.
And I just wanted to tell that.
Thank you.
Because, yes, you're Sarah's son, but
Right.
Nate Beck stands on his own, and his work is excellent.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Nathan, I have a question. What are the types of things that we should be listening for that would indicate it's going to be a good tip for you?
Absolutely, thank you, Dave. Somebody who's selling their home, you know, anybody who's interested in selling their home, wants a better profit, you know, simply painting the house, the easiest and less intrusive way to revitalize a property is painting. And so, you know, if you want to get better money out of your house, if they're selling, or if they're just tired of the space that they live in, you'd be amazed at what a change of color could do to somebody's energy and mindset, make them happier, you know, revitalize their life. So, you know, things like that. And also nice clients, people that, you know, nice people that pay on time. Those are good.
You hear that? People who are nice and pay on
Those
time.
guys.
Just for Nate. Nate, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We learned a lot. You do beautiful and meticulous work.